Hi guys, how's it going? Today we're going to install the rear trim panel on the back of the Nova. Interesting to note, this car ordered from the factory with all the chrome trim around the windows, around the body belt molding. It's got all that molding, but the car never came with the rear trim panel. And of course, being built by Fisher Body, it never did have the holes in here for it. And of course, I'm looking at the 1971 Chevy Nova factory assembly manual, and of course it doesn't show how to install this panel at all, because it would have been installed by Fisher Body before it was sent over to Chevy GM Final Assembly to have the body mated to the chassis. So we're going to show you how to mount this panel today, and we're going to make it simple, and hope everybody enjoys it. Before we get started, I've opted for the reproduction chrome version of this. As you can see, it's a lot cheaper than the factory pot metal one, and it mounts the same way with the 4 pins. The 68 and 69 panel is a little bit wider, and it mounts with 5 pins. And the tail panel of the car is actually curved a little bit, so you've got these to mount it on here. Interesting to note, some guys have actually cut these tabs off and double-sided tape this to the back of the car because they don't want these holes in here to rust. But I'm going to clean these holes up, I'll prime them, I'll repaint this, and I'm going to mount this with the speed nuts. And again, one chance only with these speed nuts on this plastic. The speed nuts, of course, will again cut their own track, so you don't want to have to take this on and off very many times, because otherwise you'll wreck the spot where the speed nuts are. So again, to make this way more simpler to mount, and there's nothing anywhere that I can find on the internet, you probably would have to buy a Body by Fisher manual to see exactly where the holes are to mount this. So I had done the smart thing and made a template. And again, this template will mount right on here, and we'll drill some holes and we'll get her going. So I've got this panel now mocked up on the back of the car, just clamped on, and we'll go ahead and we'll drill some pilot holes. Now that we have our pilot holes drilled, we'll go ahead and we'll just remove the clamps. And our template. So now we can go ahead and drill the proper holes. They again, they almost measure a quarter of an inch, just about a quarter, just over a quarter of an inch. So we'll start with a little bit bigger than a quarter-inch drill bit. We'll start with 17/64 as our final hole, and that'll give us a little bit of a an adjustment, a little bit of wiggle room to fit this in, so it's centered and square. So rather than bore you with making a bunch of holes, I've pre-drilled these out to the next, a little bit larger size, and now I'll take my 17/64 and I'll make my final holes. Again, there we have it. I'll have this all bolted up proper after I get everything primed and repainted when the weather warms up a little bit. And then we'll tackle our next job. I don't know what that's going to be, but we'll do something for you guys pretty soon, I hope. The weather's getting better. And again, like, share, and subscribe. And I hope to see you guys back on the next one. Thanks for watching.